Before the championships, celebrations, and legacy cemented in basketball immortality, two players, similar timelines, high expectations, brutal decisions now have GMs endure sleepless nights for months on end, front offices forced to make billion-dollar decisions who to build around, which player becomes the clear face of the franchise, and who's the one to go. Occasionally, two stars with similar play style can coexist. Many doubters said Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can never win it all together. That narrative lasted for years until 2024 proved otherwise. But for many champions, when two rising stars collide on the same team, the franchise eventually has to choose one direction, and when they get it right, the rewards become endless. But when things go wrong, it can set a franchise back decades like we're seeing now with the Sacramento Kings. Let's take a look at 10 times an NBA franchise had two rising stars and made the right choice on who to build around. Knicks chose Willis Reed over Walt Bellamy. Starting all the way with the late 1960s, the 10th pick of the 64 draft, team selected Willis out of Grambling State University, the eventual Rookie of the Year winner. During his second season, team traded away three guys for Baltimore star big man Walt Bellamy. Having the massive front line alongside Dick Barnett led the franchise to the 67 postseason, the team's first in 8 years. But as Willis was about to enter his prime, Bellamy's numbers regressed every season. Team had to decide which big man to keep. Reed, 3 years younger, was the guy the franchise elected to build around. Bellamy traded to Detroit for 6'6" power forward Dave DeBusschere in December of '68. Given Bellamy's and Reed's similar style of play, both inside terrace, Knicks president Ned Irish hired Red Holzman as head coach, the one to institute total team play, have everyone sacrifice, commit to full court defense. Bellamy for the rest of his career became a 15 and 12 guy for three different franchises after New York. DeBusschere, an excellent rebounder, hustler, and mid-range sniper, instantly developed strong chemistry with Reed, opened the floor for point guard Walt Frazier to operate. Team got a little taste of success, won 36 of his final 44 games, lost to Bill Russell Celtics in 6 games, a learning lesson heading into the 69-70 season, most successful year in franchise history. Reed won every award possible, from MVP to All-Star MVP, First Team All-NBA, First Team All-Defense, Finals MVP. Despite Willis going down with injury Game 5 of the Finals, team rallied, showed courage. The unselfish style of play captured the hearts of all New York fans. Team won it again in 1973. Same core with Reed, Frazier, DeBusschere, Bill Bradley, and Barnett, punctuating arguably the smartest and most intelligent basketball team ever assembled. Guys excelling in all aspects of life outside of the hardwood decades after. Blazers choosing Bill Walton over Sidney Wicks. Franchise landed the number 2 pick after an expansion season. The ultra-talented UCLA power forward Wicks came off winning 3 consecutive national titles under John Wooden. Team under Sidney's rookie season finished a piss-poor 18-64 record, 11 games worse than before he arrived, followed by 21 and 27 wins. Although his numbers look good on paper, Wicks was a losing player, posted empty stats. After 3 seasons in, Portland landed first overall pick Bill Walton, another UCLA legend, won 2 national titles. The controversial Wicks didn't want to play defense on ball stopper, shot hunter. Blazers tried trading him to the New Orleans Jazz. They didn't want any part of it. Dr. Jack Ramsey later traded Wicks for literally nothing to Boston. The Blazers would be much better off without their 20-point scorer. Wicks and Walton shared 2 seasons together. Big Bill limited to 35 and 51 games each of his first 2 years. Despite the injury concerns, the Blazers knew betting on Walton meant the highest ceiling for the team to reach new heights and develop proper chemistry. Despite both Wicks and Walton coming from the John Wooden lineage, the two couldn't have been any different. Wicks, known for his egotistical, arrogant, me-first approach, led to 0 playoffs in all of his 6 seasons with the Blazers, while Walton viewed basketball as a spiritual act, a total locker room leader, being the hub of the offense. Without Wicks, Sidney's minutes replaced by the least talented but better complementary Maurice Lucas, a tough, unselfish leader. After Wicks' departure, Blazers went from 37 wins to 49, won the title immediately, including sweeping the Lakers, while the Celtics, winning the 1976 title. The previous year before Wick's arrival, Sidney crashed with teammates, leading to the darkest times in Celtics franchise history. Former MVP and two-time champ Dave Cowens quit with Wicks on the team, took an unpaid leave of absence, citing he lost motivation for the game. But we all know the reason why. After the title, Walton would play his final season with the Blazers, 58 wins, won MVP, before the magnitude of injuries kicked in, ruining his prime, leading the team to the title, still embraced as the greatest trailblazer all time over Clyde Drexler and Damian Lillard. Those two played for the team for double-digit seasons, but neither of them have led the franchise to the title. Lakers chose Magic Johnson over Norm Nixon. As displayed in Winning Time, the 6'2" lightning-quick Norm came into the league 2 seasons before Magic, 4 years older, posted solid numbers of 17 points, 9 assists before Magic's arrival, also a great ball handler, passer, shooter, and defender. Nixon didn't have the best relationship with GM Jerry West, who coached Norm his first 2 seasons with purple and gold. When Magic rookie came in as the first pick, viewed as transcendent talent, the two were able to coexist for a bit, even winning 2 titles in 4 seasons together. 1980 led by the 20-year-old rookie's outstanding 42-point Game 6 Finals performance without Kareem. The two combined to average more than 35 points, 15 assists. The HBO series gave many the impression that Magic urged LA to trade Norm. While the older Nixon had respect for his younger floor general, he did view Magic as his teammate arch rival. From competing in every aspect of the court, debunked it about their alleged one-on-one matchup in practice, and even romantic pursuits off the court, competing on who gets the most biddies. Both shared the playmaking duties. It was clear Magic became the much better player after winning a second Finals MVP. Norm was also an all-star himself, led the Lakers in playoff scoring during their second title run, but after the 83 season, swept by Philly, GM West traded Nixon to LA's little brother Clippers, allowing Magic to fully run the offense. Norm traded for the athletic rookie shooting guard Byron Scott, a terrific role player who won 3 titles with Magic and Kareem. Nixon made his second and final All-Star appearance in the 85 season, but suffered a severe knee injury after the 86 campaign, then tore his Achilles in a preseason practice in 87, became a shell of himself, only lasting 4 full seasons after traded away from the Lakers. At the time, Magic was just reaching his prime. Even had Nixon stayed in LA, it's not guaranteed the team would have won 3 more championships after 82. The Lakers absolutely needed Byron Scott to knock off the 88 Pistons, drop 21 in the nail-biting Game 7 finals. This wasn't the only time Mr. West traded a better talent for an inferior but more complimentary player. More on the logo in a bit. The Philadelphia 76ers choosing #1 pick rookie Allen Iverson over Jerry Stackhouse, a certified bucket getter who came into the league the season before, a 6'6" shooting guard out of UNC. Stack drew comparisons to MJ, the third pick of the previous draft class, averaged an impressive 19 points, but for an 18-win team, when AI came to the Sixers, was supposed to be a pure point guard, but Philly quickly realized Iverson wasn't a traditional one. After putting up several 40-point games, instantly became the better player on his team, averaged 23.5 points, an all-time scoring phenom, dished out 7 assists. Stackhouse didn't like the rookie taking more shots than him. Team still struggled, won just 22 games, 2 alphas collided at shoot-around. Stackhouse told reporter it was a fight between one guy who didn't know how to fight and another guy who didn't want to fight. During the 98 campaign, sophomore Iverson alongside coach Larry Brown knew how to make things work. The inferior of the two scorer had to be traded, which was Stackhouse. 2 ball-dominant, high-volume shot makers who wasn't great on D was never gonna work out. Jerry shipped it to Detroit for defensive pieces Aaron McKee and Deal Ratliff. Philly slowly found success, made 5 straight playoffs after AI's second season, dragged his inferior, lack of offensive talent Sixers to the 0-1 finals. Although Stackhouse himself had some incredible scoring seasons, didn't have much playoff success until being a role player for the mid-2000s Dallas Mavericks, had difficulty deferring to Grant Hill and Wizards Michael Jordan, became just a two-time All-Star, a non-Hall of Famer. Although the Sixers led by the beloved Iverson never won a title, AI himself, one of the most respected and beloved franchise player any team will ever have. Lakers choosing to prioritize young Kobe Bryant over proven shooting guard Eddie Jones. After '98, Lakers won 61 games, made a conference finals appearance, 4 All-Stars. This team was supposed to be the next dynasty after Michael Jordan's Bulls, but given both Jones and Bryant playing the same position, the 19-year-old was coming off the bench, while 26-year-old Eddie pretty much hit his ceiling. There was deep discussions amongst the organization whether Eddie had what it took to become a true second option. Some even criticized Jerry West for choosing the high school shooting guard out of Lower Marion, 13 overall in the '96 draft, trading him for a proven good player when Jones already placed identical. But less than halfway into the '99 season, West traded Jones to Charlotte alongside Eldon Campbell for B.J. Armstrong, J.R. Reed, and an older Glenn Rice. The beloved fan favorite Jones only made one more All-Star team after his time with the Lakers, never averaged more than 20.5 points in a single season, while young Bryant, the proven coachable force, emerged into one of the league's best players by 21 years old, eventually became the best player, the most lethal young second option the league's ever seen, leading to the best 1-2 punch the NBA will ever have. Of course, when Kobe and Shaq's beef at an all-time high after losing the '04 finals, one of them was guaranteed to be gone. Looking back, it was an absolute no-brainer, choosing the 25-year-old superstar who didn't even reach his prime yet, over the declining overweight 32-year-old dominant force who missed 45 games total during his final 3 seasons. The most dominant player and best in the world throughout the three-peat, but coming into training camp out of shape constantly rubbed Kobe the wrong way. The most hated superstar at the time, Bryant blamed for running Shaq out of town, had his bumps and bruises before establishing an identity in the 2008 season, captured 2 more titles as the clear guy. While Shaq won a title himself 2 seasons after his LA departure, he was no longer viewed the first option. Had it been Kobe the one to be traded and not Shaq, O'Neal wouldn't have had Pat Riley tell him get in shape, likely would have continued letting loose every training camp. The Lakers window would have been closed after 2006. Miami chose Dwayne Wade over Lamar Odom. The 5th pick in the 2003 draft wasn't even supposed to go to South Beach. Pat Riley's original decision was to draft Chris Bosh, knowing Bron and Melo was already going to be taken. Franchise already had established vets like Eddie Jones, signed star caliber Caron Butler, and Lamar Odom, who just received a big contract. The 6'10 small ball forward viewed the team's franchise player, averaged 17, 10, and 4, while Wade himself labeled the third option behind Odom and Eddie Jones. The unofficial moment it became Dwayne Wade's team, Game 1 of his playoff debut, draining the go-ahead game winner over Baron Davis. The rest was history. The clutch gene caught Shaq O'Neal's attention to join the Heat, forcing Odom, Butler, and Brian Grant traded to the Lakers for the 32-year-old superstar, resulted in the Wade and Shaq duel. By his 3rd season, Flash captured his elusive NBA title, the first of 3 total, while Odom struggled with off-court addiction, became an excellent third option for Kobe's Lakers, won 2 titles as a 6th man, but Lamar was never going to be a true number 1 option on a contender, never fully became an all-star. Wade retired as arguably top 3 for his position all time. Golden State choosing Stephen Curry over Monte Ellis, the greatest decision in the history of the franchise. A poor judgment by the Bucks medical staff, decided taking on Curry was too risky. Monte, a fan favorite, the youngster remaining from the We Believe team, came off his best years, averaging 25.5 points and 24.1 a game in Curry's first and second season. Plus, Steph got off to a slow career start, projected to just become a several-time All-Star, nothing too special, was injury prone, averaged 17.5 and 18.6 points each of his first 2 years, missed 56 games his 3rd season due to ankle issues. His bust status was labeled 50-50. Of course, looking back, Curry, the much better player to build around for 30 out of 30 teams. This was back before the analytics era. Golden State got back game-changing defensive anchor Andrew Bogut. As Milwaukee's backcourt of Brandon Jennings and Monte became too redundant, made the playoffs in 2014 only to get swept by Miami's Big Three, little did many expected the birth of the Dynasty Warriors about to be born. Getting rid of Ellis opened up spacing, ball movement, and an unstoppable offense surrounding the greatest pure shooter the game has ever seen. The league's style of play changed because of what Steph and Klay were capable of. After a couple years with Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr, hired in 2014, unleashed the unstoppable offense. The rest was history. Not only did Curry become a 2-time MVP and a 4-time champ, breaking regular season win records unprecedented. His longevity all of a sudden, still putting up superstar numbers in 2026, still belonging in top 10 player discussions in his 17th season, goes to show how much Curry himself takes care of his body, despite some nagging injuries here and there. Monte Ellis, on the other hand, was out the league after 2017. He was only 31. The Dubs franchise, had they traded Steph, would have been considered the worst decision all time. Team would still probably be irrelevant to this day. Bucks choosing Giannis over Jabari Parker, the absolute correct choice. After a stellar rookie season, being the 15th pick, the unknown 19-year-old kid from Greece showed glimpses of greatness, but hasn't established a clear role in the NBA. Having the second pick, franchise went with the ultra hype Jabari Parker out of Duke, a high school phenom, 6'8" offensive machine with a silky smooth jumper, polished offensive game, resembling the likes of Paul Pierce and Carmelo Anthony. He was gonna be the team's franchise player, but had his rookie season cut short with an ACL tear, while Jabari still recovering from injury. Fourth-year two-guard Chris Middleton became a reliable go-to option down the stretch. Jabari himself, super shifty with his moves, takes heavy steps, leading to quick wear and tear on those knees. Being at 245 pounds, didn't fully find his rhythm until year 3, looked like a true second option and borderline all-star, averaged 20.6 assists before tearing the same knee for the second time in a 2-year span. All his greatness went crashing down, leading to Milwaukee not resigning him to a second contract. Giannis would excel, becoming a top 10 player in the game, a true superstar, getting better. With Jabari's defense always problematic, playing staggered minutes next to Giannis, too difficult to tell if Parker would have worked out anyway. Team got rid of him for nothing, proved vital for Giannis' greatness to succeed. After juggling with inconsistent point guards like Eric Bledsoe and Malcolm Brogdon, the Jrue Holiday signing became the one. Greek Freak wins a title at 26 years old, Jabari's NBA career over by 26. Allowing their second pick to exit on proper terms was the simplest thing the franchise could have done. Not trading Parker before the deadline or causing too much drama, the right choice. Denver choosing young Nikola Jokic over Jusuf Nurkic when both were on the rise. The Bosnian Beast and Serbian sensation, both picked in the 2014 draft at 16 and 41st overall. While Nurkic shown promise his rookie season, averaged 7 and 6, Jokic was still overseas, not expected to be anything crazy. Then came the 2016 season. After the replacement of Brian Shaw, head coach Michael Malone tried to make both guys work. Rookie Jokic showed promise, averaged 10 and 7. But wasn't considered franchise material. Many thought Emmanuel Mudiay was the player to build around. The Nuggets quickly understood the league shifting to small ball. Both centers, not very athletic, but Jokic's high IQ and excellent passing, too hard to ignore. You certainly don't want to give a full long-term contract to two big men playing the same position. By Jokic's second full season, finished second for most improved player. Nurkic was then traded alongside a first to the Blazers for the inferior Mason Plumlee, a clear backup big. The Nuggets never looked back since. Joker's numbers skyrocketed. Nuggets built around their star center successfully, developed chemistry with rookie Jamal Murray, easily got rid of Emmanuel Mudiay. By 2019, Denver finished as the second seed. The 23-year-old became a triple-double dread every night and an MVP candidate, would later dominate the league on the nightly basis, so much to the point many now has taken his greatness for granted. Having 3 MVPs and counting, could have easily had 5 by now. Unstoppable offensively, best player of this 2020s decade, helped the franchise win its first title. Nobody in their wildest imagination thought the player drafted in the middle of a Taco Bell's commercial would become the league's most feared superstar, a transcendent basketball prodigy. Nobody makes the game look easier than number 15 on the Nuggets himself. It all depends on health, whether his second and third options or role players show up, and the power of the front office, whether Nikola himself can cement his legacy as not only one of the best big men all time, but possibly in the legit top 10 player conversations and more. Had Denver stupidly went with Nurkic instead and Jokic traded to the Blazers, would have been Bill Walton reincarnated and likely would have won a ring with Dame Lillard for the franchise. Finally, Dallas choosing Luka Doncic over Dennis Smith Jr. The franchise will never forgive Nico Harrison's atrocities. Season before Luka's arrival, rookie Smith Jr., hyper-athletic 6'2 guard out of NC State, deemed the future of the franchise, but still unproven with a shaky jumper. As soon as Doncic arrived, it was clear who was the better player. Although the two became good friends, head coach Rick Carlisle and the front office had no more faith in Dennis's abilities. Being high usage, traded to the Knicks in the middle of his second season, Dennis's lack of improvements and bad jump shot got exposed, his confidence destroyed. While number 77 himself became the engine to the Mavs' success, Harrison and the organization originally did an excellent job finding the right defensive pieces and rim-running bigs to surround Luka, alongside a second co-star Kyrie Irving, resulted in an NBA Finals berth before getting backstabbed by his front office. Ever since, Smith Jr.'s been in and out the NBA rotation, found his identity as a defensive player, now in the G League, last played in an NBA game at age 26. Whether Luka returns to the Mavs at some point in the future, the fan base will never forget what he meant to the city.